Welcome back to the Jamez Report. It's your boy Jamez, aka Jimmy. I'm known as Jimmy. You got Roy still here with me. We just finished up doing one video talking about our top 3 WrestleMania matches, and it's crazy we were just talking about it.
It was.
We had a lot of the same matches,
Yep.
just in different spots.
Just a different spots out of all the WrestleMania matches that there is. That's crazy.
And that's what we went with.
Yeah.
And that's what we went with. As always, guys, if you like this video, you like the content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Do it for Roy, man. He's a special guest. You got to do it for the special guest.
Come out with a shirt.
Yeah, come out. Do it for Roy. That's going to be... You need to
Press
make
the
that
like
shirt.
for Roy.
Plus, it's free. I mean, subscribe. The shirt's not free.
No,
I'm going to charge you for the shirt.
All right, that'll work.
But subscribing is free, and that way you always get an up-to-date video. And as we go through this, we'll be talking about our Mount Rushmore of wrestling. And I'm interested to see what you guys think and who you got as your Mount Rushmore of wrestling. All that being said, Roy, we'll start from number 4.
Number 4.
All the way up. We'll go in it, and then we'll go from there.
Now, this might not be a very popular one
Hey, it's all about matter of opinion.
because a lot of people don't want to see him up there on Mount Rushmore. But I've got John Cena.
You can't see him.
But you can see the Rock though. He's on the Rock. He's on the 4.
You'll
Rock,
see
though.
the spot.
Right,
You won't
right.
see him,
You
yeah.
won't see him. But he, to me, he's the top professional. I mean, he's one of those workers that worked all the time. I mean, he got people over. He got over. And he pretty much did whatever. I mean, he could do. I mean, people want to talk about he didn't have very many moves or whatever. But he had enough moves, right?
He had enough moves.
I mean, he had enough moves to get the job
Well,
done.
you look at Hogan. Hogan didn't have a lot of
Yeah,
moves.
right? So,
It was about the charisma.
right, and he had it. And then when he went into his thugonomics when he first come in, and I like that with the backwards hat. And the first match he ever had was against Kurt Angle. He come out against Kurt Angle. And he went toe-to-toe with Kurt Angle and pushed him to the limit.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't win, per se, but I think he got over.
Oh, he got over.
So Kurt Angle got him over, and then just going throughout the years, man,
And you hear Bully Ray say it on the Busted Open podcast all the time. Would you rather get over, be put over? And the right answer is to get over. Because if you can get over, you're going to make money.
Right.
You're going to get them wins. You're going to get the popularity.
Yeah, and I mean, look what all he's done in the wrestling world. I know he went to Hollywood and making movies, but look at him now. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd still like to see him. I'd still like to see maybe another WrestleMania match. I would.
I think you will. That last one he had, it took me a little bit to understand where it went with The Fiend.
Oh, yeah, with The Fiend.
But
yeah.
it went back in time, showed him when he came
Right.
out, and all the things that a lot of people said he should have done differently. And it went back to his failure of the ruthless aggression, John Cena.
Oh, yeah, ruthless aggression.
And what I loved was the NWO Cena, because it was him getting to be a heel that he never got to play in WWE, except for when he first came out as the Thugonomics.
This guy, yep.
But he wanted to turn heel there towards the end. But Vince McMahon just kept telling him, no, can't do that because you're merchandise.
Yeah, right. I mean, it flies off the shelf.
He was someone everyone loved to boo, but I think everyone will respects him. And they know what he's done for this industry.
Right. That has a lot to do, I think, is respect. I mean, he's a professional. I mean, he'll go out there, and he does a good job selling, too.
Oh,
He
phenomenal.
sells like crazy. I mean, so, yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
I can't deny John Cena.
You can't deny John Cena. You can't see him, you can't deny him.
Can't see him, you can't deny him. But, yeah, that's my number 4, man.
Who you guys number 3?
My number 3 is Bret the Hitman Hart.
Okay. I
Number
respect that. I do. I'd have no problem with that.
I just to see his work. I mean, throughout the years, and I don't know. I just think he's just one of those where there's a couple of things where I didn't really like that he did, but toward the end. But when he went to NWO or whatever, but I mean, what are you going to do though?
His WCW was not.
Yeah,
his run of WCW was not memorable at all.
No. And I think he just did that because they offered him more money.
And he got screwed over by Vince.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Because he wanted to stay with WWE.
Yeah.
But they just wouldn't do it.
I know.
They couldn't come to an agreement, so that's how the old Montreal screw job came
I
about.
know. And that's, man. You go back and watch that match. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Ain't it? The
Oh.
Montreal screwed off.
The fact that they did it, and I mean, and just the way I look at it from both sides. Vince was worried that, you know, he was going to take that title like Alondra Blaze did.
Oh, right.
And, you know, not give it back, not give it up to the right person. And from what I understood, you know, because have you seen Dark Side of the Ring?
Yes, I have.
Did you watch the one with Bret Hart?
Yeah.
You know, when they said, you know, Bret said, hey, look, I was going to just...
Yeah, I was, but not to Shawn.
Not to Shawn.
That's the one he was not do it to Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, because Shawn was not the most liked person back in the day.
No.
But I am surprised to hear Bret Hart on your list, man, because I ain't heard him on a lot of other people's lists, and I think he's underrated for what he's done.
Yeah, I think he is underrated.
He's like that guy that's like he's not underrated, but he's not overrated. He's just right in the middle. He's always on the tip of your tongue to put up there, but he don't. I think Austin might have put him on his Mount Rushmore, but that's because Austin has so much respect for him because of what he did for him.
Right.
In his days. So who's number 2, man? Who's got you number 2?
Number 2 is the Dead Man.
The Undertaker.
I mean,
how
when
do you
say the Undertaker, I mean, what can't come to mind? I mean, about the Undertaker. I mean, he's done everything. I mean, he's had cinematic matches. You know, the one with him and AJ Styles I thought that was a real good match.
Yeah.
And that was different for him to do. And I liked him as the American Badass too. When he come out as American Badass. I liked him that. I heard that Vince didn't want to he didn't like that version of him.
Yeah, because it wasn't really Vince's creation.
Right.
But Undertaker, I mean, more Calloway, that's his name, but he understood that the times were changing and his character could not survive that time period.
Yeah, and just for a change up.
Yeah, and it allowed him to do more, be him. He got to be him.
Yeah, because you can only hear some. I mean, even though if you hear it too many times, like in a short amount of period, it kind of like, But if you haven't heard it for a while, the dong and him coming out, I mean, then you gotta get goosebumps every time after that because it's just so awesome. But he was at Fastlane, wasn't he? When me and you were there, didn't he come out?
No.
You know,
he was not there. Oscar was the surprise that came out for us. I didn't see her coming out.
No.
The challenge Charlotte Flair because she had to run the Royal Rumble that year. And she came out to Charlotte Flair and said, "That's who I'm facing. I'm facing you."
Yeah, but the Undertaker, I mean,
well, you look what he's done in the industry.
Yeah, he's been there forever and did it all. And
the man is so smart.
Yes.
He's so smart because he understands, and this, like I said, we've talked about it several times already today. The art form of wrestling is so changed so much, and it's not all bad.
No, it's not all bad.
I love the in-ring work that a lot of guys do. I just wish they would slow down to the point of to allow me to digest what happens and to invest in what they're doing.
Is to sell the other person's what they did.
Yeah.
Instead of doing it for about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then getting up and just take a little bit of extra time and sell it, because some of that stuff is be like, whoa, and then they just pop right back up. It's like, what?
How does that happen?
Yeah,
how's that possible?
Yeah, so.
Yeah, man. So that was number 2, right?
That was number 2. And
all right. What's 2 of your honorable mentions, man? We ain't gonna get number 1. We're gonna have to wait till I get through my list, but let's get your honorable. You know what? No, let's save the honorable mentions.
Yeah, let's save it.
Let's save it. All right, for me, and this is tough. Like I said, I didn't make a list. I'm going off of what I felt. I had, and plus work's kept me busy, man. I just ain't had time to sit down. But right off the gate, when I think about who's going to be on my Mount Rushmore, I put Andre the Giant on there, man.
Okay.
Not so much for his in-ring work, but because of during that time period, he was the attraction.
Yes, he was.
He was WWF at that time. And, I've watched him in matches and the way that he was the Giant. And one thing I love about Andre the Giant stories, and I just heard a good one from Ted DiBiase on Booker T's podcast, The Hall of Fame. But if he didn't want to lose,
He wasn't losing.
He wasn't selling. He wasn't doing nothing. Reason being, what are you going to do about it? It's Andre the Giant.
Yeah, it's not like you.
I mean, he was a giant, man. He just wasn't going to sell or do anything for you. If he didn't like you, you might as well just count your days. It's over.
Man, what are you gonna do? Bring a 2x4 in the ring, Axel Jim Duggan style?
I mean, who?
So, I mean, what else you gonna do?
What else you gonna do, man? I mean, what else can you do?
They come over and say, "I want so and so win."
Nah, ain't gonna do it.
Not happening.
Ain't gonna happen. And then this is just tough. I think this was tougher than this was tougher than picking my WrestleMania matches.
Yeah, it is tough
because there's so many great wrestlers that came into the industry and have done so much. And when I think of number 3, and I gotta think this one out because there's a lot of names going through my head, and I gotta
think it out. See, that's where you should have wrote it down.
Yeah, I should have wrote it down, but it would have changed before I come over here. I'd still be re-racing. And my number 1s and 2s are set, but the bottom 2 was just like,
I think our number 1s are that they should be there.
They should be the back same, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Man, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
If I was gonna have to pick number 3, you know what? It has to go Undertaker. Yeah. How can you not put the Undertaker on there?
It has to be either, no matter 1 through 4, it has to be. It has to be on there.
Yeah. And the same thing that you said. Just everything that he did, his ability to change.
Yep.
His longevity.
Yeah, longevity for sure.
And to keep up the kayfabe as long as he did. Mm-hmm. Even when everyone knew that wrestling was fake and it was put on to an extent, because it's not all fake. I want to make that very.
Yeah, my wife says it's fake, and I like.
It's not all fake.
No, it's not.
Them guys are athletes.
Yes.
It's me and you go out in the ring right now.
No.
I'll be blown up in a minute.
Yeah, like 10 seconds.
I'll be like off of Never Back Down. That one guy as soon as. I'm out, tapped out. I'm out of here, man. I can't do it.
Right. Oh, I'm the same way, man. You got to look at the athletes they are.
Yeah.
I mean, men, women, all of them.
Oh.
It's just crazy.
It's crazy. And number 2, man, number 2 set in stone. It's Hogan. Has to be Hogan.
I figured you'd say Hogan.
It has to be Hogan because like I said in I think the last video, look what he did in his era. Then he went to WCW where a lot of guys was not able to get over. Like Bret Hart wasn't able to get over in WCW. He changed his character, got to be heel, got to be just things. Everything he'd done, he was the golden boy for the golden era.
Right, and he was a good heel.
And he was a good heel.
He was a bad heel. He got the job done when it comes to being a heel.
Yeah,
doing the spray painting.
Yeah, and just and as a kid, and I gotta say this now, it did me a lot of good. Like I want to say it brought a tear to my eye, but it kind of I seen a video the other day at Hogan's Beach Shop with his little boy.
Oh, really?
He's 6 now. They did a video of him on WWE where he was doing the Hulk Hogan, and you think of for a kid to be that young, who's growing up in this era where he can pick any Daniel Bryan, he could pick Roman Reigns, he could pick the people who could be his favorite wrestler of all time to mimic and copy, and he's copying Hulk Hogan still.
That's cool.
And he went in the store, and he sat. He's doing the Hulk Hogan promo. When we first met, I was 3 years old. Now I'm 6 years old. I'm telling you, man, it's time to do something different. We're gonna lift it up, just like you lifted the giant above your head at Madison Square Garden. And he ripped the shirt like Hogan. It was that feel-good moment of, man, he's still not forgotten.
Wow.
Hogan still means something to kids, and he still means something to a lot of people, and he still has that recognition, which is great and awesome.
Cool. That is cool. That really is.
We're going to do 2 honorable mentions before we get to our number 1.
2 honorable mentions, okay.
I'll get one out the way first. Ric Flair.
As an honorable mention?
As an honorable mention.
Oh, man.
Look.
Wow, wait a minute. Time out.
Come on, man.
Time out.
I'm guessing I know who he is on your list.
Right,
now.
You know who's number 1 on my list.
Yeah, I know who's number 1 on your list.
Come on, man.
Look, man, I like Ric Flair.
What?
I respect what he's done.
Jet flying.
Stealing. I know.
Stealing.
I
Wheeling,
know. I know,
dealing.
man. I just.
Son of a gun.
But what I'm going off of, why I didn't put him on the Mount Rushmore.
Uh-huh.
To me, he didn't do as much for the industry as the other ones I mentioned. He did, but he didn't, and it really comes down to a matter of opinion.
Yeah, it does.
And speaking of which, I'm really upset that my number one is not going to be on your list now. And
Probably left somebody off. It probably shouldn't have. Huh?
and yeah, I mean, and he wasn't a great technical wrestler. He was, but he wasn't. His matches with Steamboat, phenomenal.
Oh man, come on.
But his promo skills, and yes, I had to give it to him. He was right there. It was bound for him and Andre, but I had to put Andre on there out of respect to Andre, and he really is the foundation of pro wrestling as a whole. You know, when you seen him, you knew he was Andre the Giant. You know, even if you wasn't a fan of wrestling, you would know. And you could say the same for Ric Flair or any of those guys, but you know, Ric Flair I think could blend in a little bit more with someone that didn't watch wrestling. They wouldn't have known how to hell. You know.
Well, because he had his things where he would flip over the turnbuckle and do that, and then he would walk and then go head first on there. That was his trademark.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody else did that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's how you could recognize who Ric Flair was to me. And then of course the woos. I mean, I don't know.
All right, man. Who's your first honorable mention?
My first honorable mention, I'd say, is Chris Jericho.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, he's still in the game as today. I know he's on AEW, but he's still doing it.
Still going strong.
He can wrestle, the promos. He can do it all, man.
Yeah.
And I just there hasn't been anything I haven't seen him do. You know? So he's my 2A.
2A. Now who's your number 2 honorable mention? We'll let you go first on this one, and I'll hit you.
I gotta say The Rock, man.
The Rock?
The Rock.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, see, now I'm really disappointed.
I can't think of who I'm missing, but
You'll be surprised.
Obviously missing something.
Why The Rock?
The Rock, just because of his charisma, his mic skills, his ability in the ring. I mean, there's really ain't nothing he can't do either. He can pull off any kind of move.
Yeah.
I mean,
his selling. For me, it was always his selling.
He does sell.
Some people might say he oversells, but how does?
No, you can't oversell.
How is Joe Smo supposed to? Well, you can. Shawn Michaels against Hulk Hogan SummerSlam, because that was
over the top.
That was over the top on purpose, by the way. Shawn Michaels was pretty upset.
Oh wow.
With Hogan because, fun fact, Hogan didn't want to lose that match. That's his undefeated streak. He's never lost to SummerSlam.
Oh wow.
So, and at the time, Shawn had never lost to SummerSlam, so it was that pride thing.
Yeah, it was that pride thing.
But wow, man.
Who's number 1, man?
I can't tell you number 1 yet. I gotta tell you my second number mention. Don't be rushing me.
Right, man.
It's my show. I'll shut it down. I'll shut it down right now.
Hit the pause button.
Hit the pause button. All right. For me, number 2, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I can see it.
Because the man that you talk about, The Rock, there's no move he couldn't do. There was nothing Shawn Michaels couldn't do.
Yeah.
The man.
Yeah, he's Mr. WrestleMania.
He's Mr. WrestleMania. He didn't win a lot of WrestleManias.
No, you go back and look. You didn't remember.
No,
he lost more than what he won.
Yeah, but he's Mr. WrestleMania because of his entrances, because of his just the way he sold. He was a good seller.
Yeah,
if he wanted to put on a show with you, and it didn't matter who was in it. He had chemistry with everybody.
It didn't matter if he's big.
It didn't matter if
small.
you liked him at the time or not, because there's a lot of wrestlers that you listen to. You know, it's like, well, I didn't care for Shawn, but boy, when he was in the ring,
yep,
he did me good.
Yeah.
All right, man. Number 1. Who's your number 1? I think we already talked about it.
We already did. It's the
Ric
kid
Flair.
stealing, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun, man. Got to be number 1.
I'm really disappointed that you didn't put this man on your list.
Who is it, man? It's old school.
It's not that old school. You're gonna be Listen, I'm about to do his move on you right now.
Let's be wait.
Are you ready?
Ready?
What?
Oh,
What?
no.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
No.
What? What? A Stone Cold Steve. We just celebrated his day, man.
I know, but
Austin 316 Day. You look at what
It's
he
not-
done in the industry. You talk about what Hulk Hogan did. Austin, the Attitude Era.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it.
They're still saying what in the state.
What?
Was when the stadiums had people in them. We're gonna have WrestleMania
Yes, we
tonight.
are, and we're going to hear it tonight.
We're gonna hear it tonight. You know, you get to hear the what chance. Was he the greatest? At one time, he was really good. He was a technical wrestler, but after he broke his neck against Owen Hart, he went to that brawling style. He's the only person he just everything. He drew you in. He did everything you wanted to do to your boss. I mean, think about your work, man. I mean, how would you like to hit Scott with a good stunner?
Oh, Stone Cold Stunner.
Right there on the ring, boom.
Kick him in the gut.
I tell you
Bam.
who's going to end up in on this. I think who's going to end up taking that spot. Not the number one spot, but who's going to be taking like Andre's spot in the future.
Who's that?
Ask me again in 5 years. It's going to be Randy Orton.
Yeah.
I feel like
by
I just
far.
want to throw him out there.
Yes. by
I
far.
think he needs to be.
He does.
He's underrated because he
real
still
under-
wrestles.
He's real underrated.
And
I mean, yeah, he's him
but-
and Edge, the greatest match ever. I mean, come on.
them two in promos, man, they just killed it.
Yeah,
Killed
you
it.
You can't go wrong with that. I
Yeah.
don't know.
You can go wrong with who you put as number one on your list, though.
No, can't either. It's my list.
That's so.
Right there. My list.
Sorry, man. You're wrong.
My list.
All right. So on this disappointing video now, I'm sorry that you're all probably disappointed because I guarantee you there's a lot of people right now giving you the finger,
Oh, wow.
and I don't blame them right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, man.
Well, hopefully you'll get some reaction to see who other people have on their
Yeah,
list.
hopefully they took the advice at the beginning of the video
right.
and put it down. They put it down. But we're gonna be making another video. I'm gonna be dropping these all week. Roy's not gone yet,
Not yet.
but he may be unconscious next video. I'll see you guys later.